What's up, guys? Dr. Michael Risher here, and I'm here to talk to you about your core. What is your core for other than looking good at the pool and at the beach? Well, when we have a strong core, we are able to protect our spine, first of all, and second of all, we are able to move in rotational, lateral, and flexion patterns with power. Now, when you look at your body, your upper body, your torso, is connected to your lower body by your abdomen. There's no bony structure connecting them, so to have strong abs, to have strong obliques is really important for stabilizing your spine. Your spine doesn't have anything stabilizing it in the front except for those core muscles. So when you have a strong core, you can stabilize your back much better, and that makes for much safer athletics and much safer working out, and really just safer life overall. The other thing that it does is it connects your upper body to your lower body in a strong way. Right? If you fire with your hips, but you don't have a strong core, then your upper body gets lagged behind. Same thing with your upper body moving and your lower body not being connected with your core, the lower body lags behind and you lose a lot of power. This is really important in rotational sports, and especially if you're going to be using your steel mace. Steel mace pulls you in a lot of different directions, so having a strong core is really important for having a healthy workout lifestyle. I'm going to show you a couple core exercises that you can throw in as a warm-up to prime yourself for exercise, or throw in a regular core routine to strengthen your abs, strengthen your obliques, and live a healthier and more productive life. All right, guys, here is exercise number 1 using your yellow set for set resistance band and your 7-pound set for set steel mace. Okay. What you're going to do with this one is called a wood chopper. It's just like chopping wood, but it gives you a directional pull and a directional resistance. It's really great for anytime you're warming up to do any activity, really, but anytime there's an upper extremity mixed with a lower extremity moving by themselves, so any throwing, any running, really great for that, because what the oblique chain does is it allows your upper extremity and lower extremity to be connected. Awesome, awesome warm-up tool. So, here's how you set it up. You take your yellow set for set resistance band and you loop it up around the top of a pull-up pole and then tie it through itself so that it's nice and tight up there, good resistance. Then, what you're going to do is you're going to take the top of your steel mace and loop it through the band. Now, the band will not come off the steel mace like it would on a normal pole, okay, unless you had some sort of clip. The reason I want to use the steel mace is because it gets stuck on the top there, and I can even wrap it around once if I really want to make sure it does not slide off. Now, I'm going to come on out, so I have a tiny bit of tension in the band, and my body is going to be angled pretty close to what the band is attached at. All right, so I want to almost mirror the band with my body. I don't want to be perpendicular to the band. I want to have a slight angle in my body. Now, from here, I'm going to start, and it's going to be a crunch with my upper body. You're trying to get this part of your rib cage as close to this hip as you can, so this foot and leg stay straight in line as you crunch forward. From there, you're going to push with your hand and get that little extra chest contraction while controlling the mace, and then you let it bring you back up. Okay, so the full movement is up from this shoulder down to the outside of your hip. You can do it nice and slow and controlled, or you can turn it into an explosive movement where you get a little bit of hip turn with that back foot and get a tiny bit of glute activation from this exercise. You really want to make sure that you connect your abs, so it is a core initiated movement first, and then your arm finishes through, gets you that little extra crunch. Let's check out the second exercise. So the second rehab exercise that I'm going to have you do is a little bit more difficult than the last one, than the wood chopper. But if you can progress to it, it's a really great exercise to do for the oblique chain. Get a little bit of upper body in there as well, which is nice. So this one is going to be the exact opposite. Okay, last time we went from top to bottom. Now we're going from your hip pocket and pressing up. Gonna get a good oblique chain activation as well with some added upper body. The upper body is really gonna be the limiting factor here, but if you can make it work, if your upper body is strong enough, it is able to help you really connect that upper body to the lower body. Okay, you're gonna start in the kneeling position, which means you have to have your band connected to the bottom of a rack. So what I'm gonna do is same setup, loop my band around the bottom of the rack, pull it tight, and then I'm gonna take my steel mace, again get the top of the steel mace in there, wrap it around once if you'd like, and now I have my setup. I'm going to kneel here with the band pulling behind me right to my hip pocket. Now with this hand, I'm going to crunch my abs again and press up with the steel mace. The resistance is going to come mostly when you press up, which means you have to keep your core contracted, otherwise you're gonna fly open and just be doing single arm press, okay? You need to have your core contracted, rib cage to hip here, and then press through. The added press through gives you a little bit more resistance. This makes it much more difficult on the core. You're gonna wanna do 10 reps of this if you can. Each side, you'll have to switch sides, switch legs. You're always gonna be pushing from the hip pocket that is down towards that knee, up and outside of the knee that's forward. The last movement we're going to do today is a Pallof press. This one's great to use with your mace and your band as well. You can use it with other instruments, but since you already have this set up, since you've already warmed up the oblique chain, let's get some Pallof press with the 7-pound mace and the yellow set for set band. Similar setup, we're going to tie it around our rack or a pole. Make sure that's nice and tight. Good. Then what we'll do is same setup. Wrap it around the top of the mace. Okay, from here, you're going to step out. Give yourself a good amount of tension on that band. If you have almost no tension on the band, then the actual press is going to be very easy. So you're going to step out, give yourself a little bit of tension. The farther you walk your hands down, the more difficult it's going to be on your forearms. The closer your hands are to the mace belt, the easier it's going to be. Okay, from here, you have a nice solid base, little bend in your knee, and you're going to press forward, holding that core, and then come on back. If you want to make it more difficult, step out further, make it a turn, press, bring it back in, and then return to your starting position. Those are two variations that I really like. There are a lot more variations that we'll go into in other videos, but for now, great core activation. Again, as you're turning, you're activating that oblique chain and then doing dissociated upper body movements. It's really, really great for warm-up. Really great to just give yourself good stability overall. I hope you enjoyed this video.